and thank you so much for joining me today. Today is a very special process video because it's to celebrate Desiree Tales' 1700 subscriber, and we're having a YouTube hop. So Desiree just asked us to go to her Instagram and choose one of her layouts to either inspire us or scrap lift, and you will have seen that at the beginning of this video. And I absolutely love this layout and thought it would be a great opportunity to scrap a baby photo. So I'm using Pinkfresh Studios' The Best Day, and it's a photo of my two, the first day that we brought them home from the hospital. The lines that Desiree has coming down reminded me so much of a baby's mobile, so I thought I would take that inspiration. I wanted to stitch my lines rather than use a black pen, just to soften the edges, and you'll see me doing that in a minute. I've done 7 lines because I prefer odd numbers rather than even, and yeah, have a watch and see what you think. So here I am, having stitched all those lines, just pulling the threads through to the back, and then I'll secure them with washi tape just to make sure that they don't pull out. You will have seen before I matted the photo onto some tissue paper, and that just softens the edges of the mat without making it too stark. With it being a baby picture, I really didn't want to have any harsh lines or colours on this. The papers that I've used, I pulled out all of the blue and yellow tones from that Pinkfresh The Best Day collection, and any of the ephemera that I felt would work with the photo that I'm using. It was surprising, although it's an autumnal range, just how many of the bits worked for new baby, new home type things, so I was very happy with that. So there we go, I've just secured down all those pieces on the back, and then I realised I need to secure the bits along the top, so that's what I'm doing now with this washi. And now just quickly rubbing out those pencil lines so that the stitching is more obvious and doesn't look quite so grey. And now I'm just going through the ephemera bits. There were these chipboard sticker circles which I've used, and now I'm going to use 2 different sizes of circle punches to punch some circles in the yellows and the blues of the papers. And now I've done that, I'm going to turn my attention to the left hand side of the page. Now Desiree used some cut off strips, the manufacturing strips on hers, and they looked fabulous, but they don't work with these Pinkfresh because they don't have those printed pieces. So I'm just using some scraps. I'm right at the very end of this range now. I don't have any 12 by 12 left, but I still have plenty of ephemera and stickers and a few scraps of paper. It's certainly enough to make another couple of layouts the way that I scrap. So just going through all the bits and pieces. There's some stickers that I've chosen. Lots of things saying welcome home. And cutting some strips of paper to use on that left hand side. So I'm happy with that banner tag at the top there. I did pull out one of our cut files from Hey Little Magpie, but it was a bit too big and didn't really go with the original, so decided to leave that this time around. I love that navy blue, this was my favourite day sticker, so that does land on the photo. But it was great cutting the stickers out like this so that I could move them around the page and decide exactly where I wanted them to go. And here just covering up, I think it said hello fall and changing it to hello welcome home, and I was pleased with that. And once that's stuck down on the photo, I turned my attention to the banner flag. I was about to stick it down and then decided that I wanted to mount it on some card. I wasn't certain that I wasn't going to put it up on some foam. I didn't in the end, but I wanted to have that option. So just cutting with a very small white border around the edge. Popping that up there with the word thankful over the top. That thankful's cut out from one of the pattern papers, the 12 by 12 papers. And then mounting the photo onto some foam. I quite often do this to raise the photo if you've watched my videos before, just to make it the focal point of the layout. It really shows off those delicate edges of the tissue paper as well once it's on foam. And now start committing to where these circles are going. Oh yes, that sticker said hello dear, not hello fall. But because I've got twins, it didn't really work, so I had to change that. And now going back to the circles. And I wanted to raise some up onto foam dots. This one didn't work because I wanted it to slip under the photo, but it was too high with that foam dot, so that comes off and it goes on to a different one. In the end I only actually raised 2 up onto foam dots, but it does add interest and detail. So now sticking that flag pennant down, as you see I decided to stick it flat onto the page and then I raised the word thankful. I decided that that definitely works better. So putting some foam tape on there. I'm very happy with that. And now turning my attention to the left hand side of the page, and I want to stitch these strips down with my machine again just to echo those stitches that I've done on the foam mobile on the right hand side. So putting it through my machine again, and each piece is stitched individually. So the first one I've just attached with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and just making sure it's straight there, and the others I just stitch straight on. I don't bother sticking down with glue first. This paper is like cardstock weight, it's so heavy that you don't need to worry about it moving while you're putting it through the machine. And I decided to keep the threads loose on that side just for added texture and detail. So now committing to sticking these other bits down. So first goes the label, and then I have a change of heart and think, oh, should I move it? But it's fine where it is and it all works out. And then this other welcome home banner I just stick up there. And now I want to add some bokeh effect with Distress Oxide ink. So I'm using Antique Linen, which is a beautiful pale yellow. And depending on how much ink you have on your dauber, depends on how opaque the inking is. And I've just punched a circle into card to use as a stencil. I do this larger circle quite a lot, and then I'll go in with a slightly smaller circle. And with varying depths of ink, you can see the differences in the colours. It's really good. Very effective and very quick. So keep putting the photo back just to check where else I need to add some. Layering and adding. And in my mind now I'm saying, right, that's enough, stop, but I can't. So like I say, I go in for it with a smaller circle now and just add a few more, but I do manage to stop before it goes too crazy, taking some off the top of the page. Right, really is time to stop now, Sarah. Just one more. Still one more. I promise it does stop in a minute. There we go, it's done. But yeah, I'm really pleased with the finished effect. Now just snipping off those threads. I noticed them poking out the bottom and I thought it will annoy me if they keep slipping under. And finally the photo is committed to the layout. I never like to put it on too soon because like that bokeh effect, it would have been much more difficult to do had I stuck the photo down before that. And then I'd hand cut all these leaves from one of the papers and just couldn't not use them. So I'm just playing about here, but because of the mobile effect, I didn't really want to have them under the photo, so I moved them to the left hand side, but they needed to be anchored down with something. So you'll see in a minute I found another thankful sticker, which I'll raise onto foam and have the leaves coming out from. And that just adds the final bit of detail that I wanted on that left hand side as well. So now I just want to add a tiny bit of journaling about the photo. First of all, the date, which was Thursday the 21st. They were born on Sunday the 17th, so we had a few days in hospital before I was able to bring them back. Amelia was in special care for a couple of days, and they accidentally cut the back of James's head when they were doing the C-section because they were having some troubles keeping my blood pressure regulated, so I wanted to get the kids out quickly. Unfortunately, James's head was nicked in the process. So I'm just journaling about bringing them home. And then when I've done that, I go in with some Ellie Studio vellum sticker hearts, a yellow and a blue. I'll put the blue at the top first of all, but I'm happier having it at the bottom there. And then I'll go in with some enamel dots. And I'm so sorry, my layout seems to be off the camera a bit there at the bottom. I must keep an eye on that while filming. It still looks fairly new to me, so I do apologise for that. So just positioning those at the top, and I'm much happier with that. And then finally I come in with some sequins. I thought sequins on this layout would be just perfect to add a bit of sparkle. So I found a blue pack, and I've just gone in with the pale blue iridescent and the white iridescent. So I'll just leave you to watch me sticking those down, and that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and huge congratulations to Desiree for reaching 1700 subscribers. That's absolutely phenomenal. I've got all the boys and girls joining in listed down in the comments in the description box with links to their videos, so do, if you have a chance, pop along and have a look at theirs. There's some fabulous talent and inspiration to be found. So thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, bye.